Alrighty, looks like we're setting up here. We've got Michael versus Athaven. And it is the starter croc. We are right there. We're going to start off with Charlotte Pudding, looking at our top 4. We're not a red searcher, so we can't look at 5, but we'll look at 4 and figure out which one of those Big Bomb Pirates or Sandries we'd like to add to our hand.
Michael's out here with all of this beautiful cardboard.
It is quite nice.
Yeah.
Considering options, planning out what our future turns might look like. How do we want to fill the curve with the Charlotte Pudding? It's always nice to have multiple options when you use a searcher. A couple different things you could possibly add here.
So I could be wrong, but who won the dice roll here? Because doesn't Croc want to go first? Maybe they just chose to go second just so Katakuri couldn't?
So that is sometimes an option. You definitely like Katakuri going first, I think.
Taking a Brûlée.
Yeah, Brûlée is an okay ad.
Yeah,
definitely doesn't feel
hoping for that out of life.
Well, out of life, but also just you don't like the blockers aren't super strong against Croc when he can just bounce them back to your hand. So in the late game, it's not going to be quite as powerful as you want it to be.
We have 5 at face. We're
I
going
think
to
an easy take for
life.
the Croc makes sense.
Yep.
It looks like we see Sparrow come down. Definitely one of the best 3 drops that you like to see. And so far, Katakuri is curving out well.
For sure.
Definitely a scary side when you go first that you're not going to be able to curve out well, but you have been so far. We've taken our first life as Katakuri, and it looks like the 3-drop Dofi comes down. We'll look at the top 5 and see what we want to do with those. Good option to go top or bottom with these. Depends on what you want to draw, which you need to add to your hand. Looks like we are ordering them, so assume it's going to go top. Yeah. Yep. And we've established what our next 5 turns will be when we draw cards. While also putting a blocker. Just a powerful effect against yellow that's generally unable to remove those blocker type effects. Back to Katakuri, we're going up to 5. A lot of options here. You can attack for 7 with the lead and play a 4-drop, or you can play something like the 5 drops that we've seen these vanillas be able to add. We'll attack with 5 with the Parasparrow first, and our opponent's life. See what they want to do about that. Looks like we're going to be discarding 2K. I'm sorry, 1K. There's a Missile Sunday.
So we don't have we don't have any events in our hand, I would guess.
It looks like we discard Kaya for that one, and we are going to play the 5-drop there. The new vanilla, the Randolph. And a pretty clean start still. Still curving out as Katakuri. Definitely showing off the power that was able to come out for set 4 and from the starter decks to really bolster the curve a bit that they didn't have previously. Looks like Croc is coming in for an attack of 7, assumedly at the Parasparrow, and agreed. This is still a value game. No reason to go to life.
Yep. Just get the free card selection, assuming you hit.
Looks like we do. Get a Charlotte Pudding, which will find something else in the future here. And 3,000 Worlds will put the Randolph on the bottom.
Okay. We cleaned up that board pretty nicely.
Yeah. A decent turn there. Still got your blocker and the Doflamingo on the board. And you still know what your next couple draws are, so no problem there. It does feel sad that you had to pitch the Missile Sunday, even though you used 3,000 Worlds that turn, but...
So what's your best play as Katakuri at 7?
At 7? It's going to be 7-drop Big Mom, right?
I don't think we play 7-drop Big Mom anymore. Or a lot of people don't. I guess people still do, but...
yeah, if you're not playing... Well, I mean, that's fine, because it was definitely the weakest of the top end.
Yeah.
But one of your best options is probably then playing the Pudding, attacking for 7K, and playing a Randolph type effect. The problem with Randolph is that it is very 3,000 Worldsable, as we saw.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had something like a 6-drop, the vanilla Parasparrow, then you wouldn't have that problem.
Get to look at life here and play a Randolph. This seems fine.
If you do have the Parasparrow, the 6-drop Parasparrow vanilla, then I think that's a better play, just because it doesn't get answered. You'd rather have that also answered by Red Rock, and it looks like that's possible.
You might have it, yeah.
Oh, instead, We're just getting in for a couple 5K attacks. Maybe he's
Okay.
playing something like the 3-drop Parasparrow here.
Yeah, 3-drop para.
And that is it. The value train continues as we've used almost every card here to continue searching up new cards. Okay, I think that's a fine play. I think your opponent will still be happy if 3,000 worlds this, but you won't lose such a big body. But you've also were able to get an attack in with one of these puddings because you want to get their value at some point. So no problem with that. Looks like Buggy's coming down. Look at our top 5. Filter away a couple of those cards that we saw with Doflamingo on the top of the deck there. Looks like we're adding Mr. 5?
Yeah. One of the numbered.
Yeah. Mr. 3. My mistake.
I guess his opponent didn't know what it did either.
All the Baroque works are difficult to remember. It looks like we're filling up the board here.
Is that a Mihawk? No, that's a Croc.
Yeah, that is the croc there. Just flashing it for the camera, no problem.
Yeah. I think his opponent is as lost as I am on some of these cards. I don't think I have a single Croc player at locals. So,
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. Croc is not a deck where I'll know what all the cards do.
That's okay. We're going back to Katakuri here, attacking in for 5 with the Parasparrow. I see. It was the Altart Ivankov putting in
Okay.
Crocodile. Interesting. Ivankov's definitely a powerful card. Not always played in these Croc decks, but
No.
powerful when you do get the effect off.
I could be wrong, but I think our Croc players playing some interesting tech cards. I'm not sure which matchups they're for, but this is not what I normally see. But
So we do see 7-drop Big Mom in the Katakuri deck there.
wrong again.
Looks like it was played out, and we did heal 1 life. Generally, the mode that's chosen with that card. Especially, I think, in this exact situation, you're not able to survive for too long, I don't think. So I don't think you can lose the life there. Randolph that we knew about was pitched there to get out of that attack. Looks like Ivankov is coming in. Taking out the Parasparrow, I think, is interesting. You could have had an option of bouncing Parasparrow back to hand with the Croc ability there. Now that we've used a number of our Dawn, but looks like instead we got Mihawk coming down, and I guess Mihawk is a fantastic answer to the 7-drop Big Mom. You were hoping to bait out a Red Rocket. Instead, you got possibly the worst card coming in the face of it.
Yeah. Mihawk is it's a bit brutal. I was gonna say our Katakuri player looked pretty ahead at the beginning of this turn, and now looks pretty behind.
The tempo is here. Definitely unfortunate, but I understand now why you were attacking the Parasparrow instead of bouncing it back to the hand.
Yeah. So, if we play 10-drop Big Mom, I think that's just a massive tempo loss, to be honest.
I don't think it's a tempo
super
loss.
Awkward.
I think that's fine. I think you're going up to 5 life. You're not losing.
That's true. You are.
And then you've got your
sitting at 4.
back.
Yeah.
I think the most awkward part of it is that your opponent still has a blocker. I mean, there's Doflamingo on the board, but
I take it back now. After an opponent takes the life, I take it back. Let's go to 0. Come on. But
yeah,
it doesn't happen.
It's 6-drop Parasparrow into looks to be the 4-drop Sanji there. So blocker is nice. And it looks like we are attacking for 5 with Crocodile. I think I like this. Just want to pressure opponent's life, make sure they can not quite have quite oh gosh, have quite as many cards. Attack for 7 here. Looks like we'll trigger that Thunderbolt. Take out the blocker, I think, is probably the best option for sure. And is not the buggy. I guess there's only 2 options, so that's fair. Attacking in with Mihawk. I don't think you can get out of this attack. I think you have to take this one. Pray that you have something to trigger, and you do. Looks like Sanji is coming down. Very nice. And
Yeah, the
pitching
new
one of these 10
Sanji.
drops
The new Sanji is huge for the Katakuri deck.
is very nice, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Red Rock is coming in. Looks like we're putting the Parasparrow on the bottom. Makes sense. The biggest attacker on the board. And then we can probably go ahead and use our leader ability, -4 Dawn, and bounce something. It bounces one of these Sanjis. So you're going to have to reinvest in that if you want it back on the board. And passing over to the Katakuri player. Definitely powerful to have that ability here, especially. Your opponent's not going to be able to 10-drop plus have 2 Sanjis back. So now they'll, if they play a 10-drop, they won't have any blockers and will assuredly die. So definitely a nice ability and showcase of that Croc ability.
Does our Katakuri player know his last card? I don't believe so.
I don't believe so. I don't think he's actually attacked Force 7 with his lead yet.
He did his very first turn, but I think he left it on top.
Gotcha. Yeah. So definitely a nod towards your win-win that you were talking about there previously, I guess.
Yeah.
If Croc's going to be still a menace. I think you have to play a bit towards killing your opponent if you're Katakuri here. I don't know that you can with 4 Dawn still up, but I don't know how you survive through multiple attacks in the future turn because I feel like you need to attack with the Sanji.
Yeah, if you play the Sanji, he has a second Sanji in hand, correct?
He does. Yeah, he got 1 bounce back last turn.
So even playing the second one, like the chance of it getting bounced is like semi-high.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't think that's the play.
The awkward thing too will be if you play out 2 Sanjis, you'll attack with like a large attack for one Sanji will block, and then the other Sanji will get bounced with a large attack.
Yeah.
So the play pattern doesn't work in your favor here for double Sanji, but it also doesn't work if you have single Sanji because then then that'll just get bounced instead. So feels like you need to invest in that, and because of that awkward play pattern of I don't have enough to protect myself, it feels like you have to try and kill your opponent here.
Yeah, if you don't have 10-drop, I think you just have to go face.
I don't even think you can play 10-drop. I think 10-drop is also losing.
You think 10-drop loses? I mean, you get to block them. No, because it just bounces.
You'll just get bounced.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
So you'll have to survive 3 large attacks on your opponent, and I don't think that's possible.
So how many cards does opponent have?
Looks like they got a pretty decent grip is the problem. But I think you just do 2 of same size attacks, be like 2 10K type attacks. They have a bunch of open Dawn, so they've likely got events that are just going to make this awkward, but I think that's our only way out at this point.
Yeah.
You could try and play maybe 8-drop Katakuri, put Ivankov back in life.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And then maybe you can do something. But again, you're still facing down 2 very large attacks, and the Sanji will likely get bounced back.
I don't know. I think attack for 6 with Sanji. Attack for 7 Katakuri. Oh, nope. We're just going for 10-drop.
Okay. Attack for
We're
5.
on the pray for beige plan.
Yeah, you can definitely hope that you have Brule in life to get away from this. Looks like Overheat was played here. We'll bounce back Buggy to our hand. A nice 1K pitch for later, or we can dig for something if we need to. And not attacking with the Sanji. We're going to force our opponent to use the ability there if they want to. So that'll at least be 4 Dawn costed for that. Yeah, might as well replay the Buggy. You're going to reuse the Dawn for the ability here on the leader anyways. Get the Mr. 3.
I liked Mr. 3, the blocker that can attack and restand itself.
Mm-hmm.
For
sure.
I haven't seen a ton of that card. Seems very, very good.
It was nice when Ivankov was kind of a deck in set 2, but it kind of fell off since then.
Yeah, when I started playing, Ivanka was not a deck.
Yeah, I mean, it never really was a deck, but...
Oh, I got you.
It's not a great deck, ever. Something about playing on only 2-3 cards every turn is not a great play pattern for a deck, turns out. Looks like we are just attacking for 7, offering up. If you'd like to use Sanji to block, you can. And yeah, looks like we'll take the opportunity while we have it. Okay. I mean, this is pretty favorable, I think, then, for the Katakuri player, now that they weren't able to die this turn.
Did he roll Snake Eyes?
Looks like
what is that? Capone?
Capone was
Yep,
used
the
there.
Capone.
So, yeah.
Told
Very
you,
nice.
Capone and Prey.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we were dying quite this turn, anyways. Regardless, but looks like we will definitely need to fill out some blockers. Mr. 3 will come down and hold up for an event and pass it over to the Katakuri player.
This does give you a Thunderbolt out.
Sure. Thunderbolt is definitely an option. You still have that life left. And yeah, we got an attack for about 14 and 14. And you'd have to get out of one of those attacks, essentially. It's not great. Not feeling great from the Croc side, but you do have a decent sized hand. If you can level of beam,
And
going
you
up
have
to
3
9.
open Dawn.
3
So,
is an interesting number.
yeah. He's
I don't
already
know.
shown an Overheat.
Sure.
Are we
I
playing
don't.
multiple Overheat?
Well, Overheat's still 2 cost, right?
Yeah, but you could Overheat then Love, right?
That'd be 4 Dawn total because Love is still
okay.
2 as well. So
what's
maybe
the one with Usopp on it? The 1-drop.
Usopp's River Band of Doom.
Yeah, I guess you probably don't play that though. Now think about
No, you probably play Desert Spada over that if you're gonna play any of those.
Or Dragon Twister.
Sure. But
Yeah,
regardless, that's still a 2K. Those are kind of 2K type effects. So you'd have to consider getting up to 14, getting over 14. You'd have to get to 15. Well, I guess your opponent could attack for. Oh, nope.
There's the Thunderbolt.
I'm sorry. We just have the Thunderbolt.
Yeah, that's.
So now it's going to be difficult. We're going to attack for 12K and attack for
7 first, right?
Well, you're just going to attack with 2 large attacks, but it looks like we're just going to go for one really large one.
Yeah, I would go for the 7 on the Katakuri, then a just incredible one is what I would have done, but.
And it looks like, we don't have enough in hand to get out of that attack. Just definitely too big. Unfortunate for sure. But let's jump back. So it was interesting there. Definitely felt like Croc was ahead towards the mid game there, and then the 10 drop came down, and I felt like you were able to bounce the Sanji and attack in for what would be 3 attacks, and your opponent wouldn't be able to stop it. But I think I probably did the math wrong. Probably still too many cards in hand from Katakuri to be able to do that line, I guess.
Yeah, and you never know what their cards are. They have a bunch of 2Ks. They play an incredible amount of 2Ks. So
yeah.
I think 13, 14. So, and then like I said, the beige saving an attack.
Sure, that was definitely going to be powerful if you went for that
tempo
line.
Change. And then just having the Thunderbolt to make it easy. I mean,
it did.
You don't
make
have to
it
do
easy.
math anymore.
It did make it easy.
Slam.
To be fair, having the Capone come out of life to be able to stop an attack was an important part of that because you need the life for the Thunderbolt.
For sure.
So definitely did set up that ability to play that. I don't know that Croc was getting out of that regardless. I guess they did have a lot of counter power, but still, definitely a bit much overall.
For sure. And once again, I mean, it's just 10 drop Big Mom. Just even when it's not the best tempo play, it's still the best tempo play somehow.
It kind of is. Giant body plus gain the life is just an important
plus take a life.
aspect. Plus take a life. Yeah. Definitely important. But let's jump over to another game here.
We have a spicy one. We have a Vivi.
So some Vivi versus Newgate action. Not your everyday matchup.
Nope.
And one you'll probably only see in this exact showing here because Newgate's about to be going away. But Vivi trying to show that, hey, I found the answer to Newgate before I've left.
Now I've been playing a lot of Vivi, and it surprisingly has decent play into the red decks.
Very interesting.
Chaka and Robin are just real problems when they have rush.
Yeah, so it looks like we're both at 1 life here. definitely where this games are gonna go because Newgate's gonna bleed themselves out. Red Hawk to get out of that one and kill the Nami. It looks like Newgate is finishing up their turn here. Looks like unblockable Luffy coming in just for a standard 6k attack. Considering options. What do we want to do about this? I'm gonna guess it's attacking the board somehow. Maybe attacking the ulti there or something.
Yeah, I would imagine. Maybe I'm. No, I guess not. I was gonna say maybe we don't just give up the chopper, but
Okay, looks like it was actually coming in at life.
okay.
So that's fair. And yep, taking our last life is Newgate. Classic play, and we still got 3 Dawn up, so rad points or guard points and radical beams. Yeah, I
I
combined them.
messed you up from her. Andy's got a fistful of cards.
Yeah, kind of the Newgate special for sure. All right, so entrenched Vivi player here. I'm glad I got you with me. What are you looking to do this turn?
This VV list is definitely a little different than mine. I think you don't really have a board to like go because Vivi can't attack. You don't really have a board where you can actually go for the knockout here. The VVs that I've been playing have been very value heavy, so I think you just want to build your value and probably get rid of this Luffy. This Luffy, can become very problematic. If you get rid of the Luffy, you've at least forced them to have a Marco or something to deal with the chopper.
Okay, I think that would be pretty interesting. Definitely feels like you need to be definitely pressuring your opponent's life in some fashion.
Yeah. Like the beautiful thing about VV is that blue, man. You can see a Mihawk here. You can see a 3000 Worlds or Red Rock. You never know.
A lot of options out of
Yeah.
a deck that's playing 2 powerful colors.
Yeah. Probably the and maybe not, maybe yellow. As I'll say, maybe the 2 most powerful colors, but
yeah, they're definitely strong. Definitely not arguing against that. Looks like we're also considering what our options would be here.
Let's see. I think we only have we have multiple VV players, don't we?
It's very possible to have probably a couple here, I think. It looks like Alti has hit the graveyard for some reason. Might have been a rollback on the attack in some fashion. Maybe one player was stating that they attacked the Alti. Not exactly sure. But it looks like Vivi is now continuing with their turn.
All right, let me see.
Definitely a lot of options. The rush ability from the leader here gives you plenty of things to think about. It looks like we're tapping off for 5, maybe? And it will be a Red Rock. Gonna put
so our VV player is playing a very event-heavy list.
Okay.
We do have a Mihawk. We also have a Newgate as our top end.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and then we have a lot of the cards that I was talking about. We have Robins, Chakas, things like that. So, and just a bunch of value cards. And there's the Chaka.
There we go. There's one of them right now.
Uh,
Chaka's coming down. And we're passing back to Newgate. We got 1 Dawn available for some kind of event. And hopefully we can survive this turn against Newgate. The problem is you're going to have to survive a couple turns, I think, here.
yeah.
Use this next turn to be able to attack down your opponent and really whittle their resources at least.
I'm honestly the VV player with the rush, it might be able to end the game next turn. You're at 0 life. The Chaka's gonna, if you put a blocker out there, the Chaka's gonna eat it up. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it's a high chance, but
okay. Looks like we're attacking in for 7 with this Marco. Trying to bait out maybe a guard point from our opponent here. Definitely the Newgate play pattern of I'm surviving another turn, so I just need to whittle your resources down enough so that I'm able to get in on the following turn.
But that's where Vivi's strong. You know, draw an extra card every turn.
Yeah, for sure.
It's resource intensive. Like I said, we're playing.
And it looks like we're
playing
going to put the
12
chopper
events.
in the way. 12 events is a decent amount of events for sure.
Yeah, 12 event Vivi. Yeah.
Looks like we're attacking for 6 with the lead Newgate. And I'm going to guess that means that we're playing our own Newgate, maybe? Very interesting.
I
don't know that you can tap out for it is the problem.
I don't either. That's why I think
I
if
think
you play it. No, he's not playing a Newgate. He would have played it before he attacked to get the extra.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah.
Extra 2K.
Yeah, I was confused by, not equipping anything there to make a 7K attack, but playing Marco is strong.
Or no, that's.
Yeah, that is the 5K Marco, the newly restricted one that'll be coming into play next turn.
The alt art for those 2 cards looks so similar.
Well, that is the same card, so.
No. I'm talking about the blocker alt art and that alt art.
They do. Yeah, they got that kind of blue effect behind them for sure.
Yeah.
But I would assume we're holding up 4 more Dawn here for the Newgate, and we're passing back to Vivi. Again, as Vivi, you have to use this turn to whittle your opponent's resources. You're not going to be able to kill them this turn, so you got to make sure that you're going to survive a turn while also eating away what's going on. You're playing your own Marco. Definitely powerful card, but not going to be answering what your opponent's board has for sure. And then looks like we've rolled that back real quick. Just kind of decided not to.
We're going to shrink it with the Chaka and then knock it out.
Chaka first and then play it. Yep, that'll eat 1 event from our opponent's hand. So, be 1 option. It looks like maybe we're attacking 1 and trying to minus the other. We've pitched a Nami to it. I think attacking the board and attacking the leader are the same here. Your opponent's going to protect them all the same. So no difference there, really. It's like we're going to come down and hit the Marco, kill the 1, and we'll pitch an event to it. What event will it be?
So we can still give our Marco a rush and make him trade out another card here.
You could. You definitely could. And I think that's probably reasonable. You want to draw a card anyways, probably. When you're trying to grind.
I guess it depends what events I'm holding in hand, but.
Well, we saw 1 Dawn held up last turn, which means we don't have too many things. It looks like we are tapping 2 for the Vivi ability on the Marco, draw our card. And yeah, we're going to get in with this thing. Try and attack our opponent down.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bans hit this deck just as hard as it hit every other deck playing red. The list, I looked at the list I was playing everything except for the Dan that got hit. So
yeah, that is definitely fair.
Unfortunately, I hope I catch wind of another crazy Vivi deck, but
maybe in a slower meta, it's also quite good though. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean it's card advantage plus some level of aggression with the rush. So.
Notably, when we did that attack there, we were able to find a 2K from our opponent's hand, which does mean that our opponent likely is out of 1Ks. Something to note in our mind. And we are untapping his Newgate.
I didn't see how many cards that was. I think that was 6 cards.
It's about 1 million D.
Yeah. I do think that Nico search is pretty strong. We can now threaten with the Chaka multiple Marco knockouts next turn.
Yeah.
If we choose to go for board.
Well, like I said, I think going for board and going for face are about the same. Your opponent's going to protect them just about as much as they can because they need the multiple attacks here out of Newgate. I do like the way they're playing it. They're they're saying we're playing a long game. Even though I have no life, I'm able to protect myself. I'm going to keep attacking with all of these things. And just pressure the cards that you have in hand, even though you're drawing at multiple turn, to make you discard them.
So, is Ace your best card here for the Newgate player?
Ace is good. I don't know if it's your best card necessarily. It's got rush, I think, is the most important part. having even just a Luffy would be just as powerful, I think. But I guess Ace would play around the possible Nico Robins in hand, huh?
Yeah.
Oh no, it doesn't.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you
No,
get
I
minus.
mean it does a little bit. Because it goes to it's a 7K,
Yeah.
right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so it would go to. Oh, never mind. There goes to Nico.
yeah, I think you need to protect yourself, so I think it's fine to also.
Yeah. No,
go
I
this way.
agree.
It's like we're attacking for 6.
Let's sit on this rad beam as long as we can, and
Yeah.
at least present it to our opponent, even if we don't have it.
Well, Out of Dawn still open, and it looks like Chaka will go away after that attack. I think it's interesting that Vivi said I don't have to protect my board. I feel like they need attackers, but
well, I mean, you just you rush them out, so it's less.
sure.
You know, you don't have to. You get your value instantly, basically,
Okay.
which is one of the things I like about Vivi.
Yeah. The attack for 6 here. Assume it's coming in at life, and it looks like we finally will get the rad beam out of hand. That's definitely something we're trying to eat this entire time.
Oh, I think that makes this turn a win on its own.
And here's Luffy coming in.
Oh,
7K attack and taking the last life as Vivi. And probably passing back with 3 Dawn up. This is now a difficult position for Vivi, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how you win here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the problem the entire way.
Oh yeah, no. If the VV was able to hit in each turn just for the 5K, this game would have. Well, I guess not against Newgate, but
You're not against Newgate.
Yeah, but this is where most of my VV games end up. Is I'm half a turn short. So unfortunately, it looks like that may be what's happening here.
Doesn't feel like you're going to be able to break through kind of what your opponent has going on for sure. Not quite
I'm trying
big
to
enough
count those
attacks.
cards, but it is very difficult. I think it's 5, so assume 3 of them are like guard point. Yeah, you're never getting through this turn. So you have to figure out how to get through next turn.
The problem is I don't know how you survive, right? You're gonna have to have choppers and do you play do you play the blocker, Marco?
Let's see. No, I do not believe so.
Even tougher.
Yeah, I think choppers are literally what we're praying for.
Okay, well, let's hope we can pray to find those as a VV player to pull out this win against the scourge that is Newgate.
Choppers and the other 11 events that we haven't seen. Did he just pass? Oh, no, he's thinking. Okay.
No, I have to assume we're considering just an attack for 16 and say, can you get out of this? And Newgate often very much says, yeah, that was pretty easy, actually.
Yeah, like I said, he's likely got at least 9 in hand. Like, yeah. I would say that's the bare minimum, which then all he needs is a 2K.
Yeah, looks like that'll be the option. I agreed that we're not going to be able to do anything else, so attack for 16. So tap 2, Red Hawk goes up to 4, so that's up to 10. Guard point puts us up to 13, 15, and 17. We got out of it, no problem.
And
the way Newgate does.
Yep. Every time you take the chance that they don't have it, they always have it.
Yeah. It looks like there'll be a bit of formality in I'll attack here, but no. Yeah. We're gonna call it here. No problem. Close one.
Yeah. No, I mean I think it shows that like Vivi has some tools in her kit. Maybe she'll be able to survive just on Chaco, Robin, and blue cards. I do think Nami is like a brutal loss for Vivi because finding choppers, finding, some of your events are all super important, and without Nami, I'm not sure how you do that.
All right. Yeah, let's jump back over to a camera here of us here.